If you're thinking about doing remote closing, inbound closing, high ticket closing, whatever the they call it these days, I'm telling you, don't do it. And here's why. This is everything that your guru doesn't want you to know. These are all the things that actually happen on sales floors. And most likely, these are things that you'll probably go through. My goal for this video is this to be the only video that you watch to really decide whether it's for you or not. So let's go into our first thing, income promises. This is the number one thing that pisses me off. You're not gonna get there overnight. And I think that's the problem. Like, everybody focuses so much on the income, about like how much you can make. If you watch your favorite guru, they'll tell you, oh, you can make 30K per month, 40K per month, 50K per month in comms, right? So your favorite gurus will say comms, right? The first thing you'll probably ask is like, is it true? People will say, oh, this person did $1 million a year. But what you don't know is a lot of times they'll extrapolate their best month and put it out to a year. I remember one time I told one of my students that I had my first 30K month, and then he was like, wow, Kevin is making like $250,000 per year. I was like, how did you come up to that number? And he was like, oh, you just take 30 times like 12, and you know, that's close to $360,000 per year. But it's not true. Most closers that I know probably aren't making that much. What you don't see is like, when I had that 30K month, it was really exhausting. I felt burnt out. I couldn't take on any more clients, and I was just working all the damn time. It ruined my relationships. It ruined all these things. A lot of these high ticket salespeople, they're alcoholics. They're doing a lot of drugs. They go through periods of burnout. They ask themselves, I hate this. But okay, whatever. Personal life aside, who the cares? That's the important thing to know. Can you make that much income? Yes, but it depends on a few things. It depends on your client, the level of marketing. Do they have a strong brand? Because how many times have you seen these ClickFunnels offers where they're just like, just focus on cash collected, and then what happens? The offers crash and burn. They develop a really bad reputation. They're on CoffeeZilla getting like, oh my God, this person's a scam. And while I don't believe everything is a scam, we have to realize that there's so much contingency, especially because inbound sales is bottom funnel. Like, we're working on conversions, that we don't have control over the marketing. And it's not to victim blame the marketers or anything like that, but something to consider when you're planning a strategy. You need to be well aware of the risks that you're going into. The first things I look for on any offer are, does this person have a really strong brand? Does this person have an irresistible offer? Which 100 Million Offers is a great book, but you know, is this an irresistible offer that this person can actually deliver on, not just like can close them, bait and switch them? And what is this person's marketing strategy? Do they have paid media, organic, right, content out there? And are they focused on building a relationship with their audience, or just transactionalizing everything? Those things will affect your income at the end of the day. And it's also the culture, because most sales floors are all about, you know, cash collected, ClickFunnels bros, you know, like close rates and all that, which close rates are the dumbest freaking thing ever. I always look at revenue per lead, or how most salespeople will say dollar per lead, which sounds kind of like rudimentary, but whatever. But you know, is the culture really focused on like hardcore selling, close every single lead and all that, versus like nurturing a relationship? The second thing to be well aware of is the short lifespan of offers. Earlier, I was mentioning that a lot of offers, they only last 2 to 3 years sometimes on a ClickFunnels offer. Even with someone who has a really great branding that is focused on fulfillment, the truth is sometimes people go so aggressive on the ads and they go through something called market exhaustion, meaning they'll tap out the whole entire market. And I'll give you a good example. Like, I was working with this ClickFunnels bro. Oh my God. It was when I was first starting, and I thought 2 Comma Club was really cool. We were basically spending about 30K in ads every single day. The sales team was doing about 500K per week. And then within 1 year, we just saw the amount of leads just tank. We literally pretty much exhausted out the whole market. There's a few things that come into play. Yes, the market size, but also like the fulfillment too. Way too often I see so many of these business owners, especially ClickFunnels bros. I don't think anybody wants to be a guru at first. They come with really great intentions, want to help people, but then they just see their 30K months, 100K months, 200K months, or per week sometimes, and they're like, oh my God, let's focus on sales. Let's focus on cash collected. And that's the one thing I hate. The biggest threat to an offer's lifespan is how much they transactionalize that relationship. Because yes, you'll collect more upfront, you'll get all these benefits, but what they forget is to nurture the relationship. And when you nurture a relationship, a real relationship with your customer, with the people you're talking to, you can always find more offers, right? There's no shortage of like the amount of offers that you can offer to someone. People will always go through problems, and you just help them along the way. When you focus on the short transactions and you just monetize trust based off that one time, guess what? They don't want to freaking work with you anymore. And the best brands, like there's a few people that I've been watching, right? People just want to work with them forever because they know they'll do the right thing. They know that the founder actually cares about the outcomes for their students or client. And so that's why, I really respect people like Mike Kim, who says marketing isn't about closing a deal, it's about building a relationship. And don't get me wrong, revenue numbers, KPIs are very, very important. You need to know like whether you're performing or not, whether you're adding value to your client or not, but there's this almost obsession of KPIs, and it just takes away from the relationship aspect of sales. And there's this high pressure culture of it. People say buyers are liars. Don't ever let a client go or they're gonna ghost you. And it's like, yeah, because we're triggering and there's all these urban myths of sales. Once you let them go, they'll never call you back. But that's because we're in a survival state, which triggers fight, flight, or freeze. And when we're in a survival state, guess what it does? It triggers their survival state, right? And half these salespeople, they want to go world star hip hop, go in with the survival mindset. Like they'll set an agenda. Hey, this is how this relationship is going to go. But either way, you're going to make a decision right now. And it's like, don't fucking tell me what to do. And a lot of salespeople, they ignore the 3 tenets of basic psychology. People want to be autonomous with their decisions. They want to make their own decisions. They want to be congruent with their beliefs and all that. And then the third thing is the need to be listened to and understood. What I've noticed on a lot of sales floors is this culture of like high pressure, like controlling the conversation, positioning yourself. And they miss the nuance of tell me that you're trustworthy without explicitly telling me that you're trustworthy. But when you build a relationship, guess what that does? It activates the prefrontal cortex. This is the area that's responsible for empathy, collaboration, creative thinking, critical thinking, long-term thinking. And so why wouldn't you want these things to be turned on? When I focus on the relationship, it activates this area. And then I've literally told people, hey, you know what? No rush. Don't make a decision right now. Think about it. I'm more than happy to reconvene and just talk about some of the concerns, but I don't want you to rush your decision. You know what people say? They actually come back to me and just be like, hey, Kevin, I really, really want to work with you somehow, some way. It's because I'm not trying to transactionalize everything. It's because I'm building a real relationship. But that's not the culture for a lot of these offers, because there's so many traditional salespeople out there. And that's why everyone hates salespeople. When I'm helping out my personal clients, they hate sales because they view it like high pressure. I need to close this person. I'm like, no, focus on building a relationship, because whether they buy today or they buy something else or you work with them in some other way. Like literally, I turned down one of my students who I went through a full sales call. I'm like, dude, I really don't think this is best for you, dude. Like if you're a good friend, I would tell you, don't do this. You're meant for so much more. And guess what? I hired him for something else. I was the one that gave him money, which is crazy. Too many offers don't do this. Let's say if, this offer is like really long lasting and all that. Well, what's the third problem with inbound sales? Well, it's an endless hamster wheel of closing deals. If you're on a traditional sales floor and you don't get any recurring commissions for any retainers or anything like that, it's just a one-time thing. Something that we kind of forget in sales or anything that we do is that not everything is like super, super consistent. Meaning like we have these energy peaks and dips all the time. And unless you're getting a piece of the retainer that you help close, then you're always going to be searching for more deals, try and close deal after deal after deal. And when ads go down and all that, like you're screwed if you're performance based. For me personally, I went through this period where I was like, dude, I know how to close deals. This is no longer fun for me, and it feels like survival that I just have to do going forward. And I freaking began resenting doing inbound sales. There's the fact that these offers don't last forever. A lot of them last 2 or 3 years, like I said. So you're hopping from client to client to client, always looking for a next gig. No one ever talks about this stuff, right? Where it's like, oh, this is the rough part. You're always looking for clients, But then like people want you to be on one client. They don't want you to do multiple clients. But at the same time, if you focus on one client, you're putting all your eggs in one basket. So what a lot of closers do, they actually are working multiple offers without telling their other clients. It's the truth. And especially with so many closers out there, they're oftentimes like, we're often commoditizing ourselves. When performance-based, the reason why we can charge so much is because we're taking all the risk. Peter Drucker says it, all profit is derived from risk. As an inbound closer, or whatever the frick you want to call it, you are taking majority of risk. You're risking your time in exchange for profit. But what I'm seeing is like these people are cutting a lot of commission, and then because you're in the survival mode, you're chasing deal after deal, you're chasing client after client, and you just burn out eventually. You just don't want to do this. I knew this girl, she was really great. She was making 15 to 20K every single month, but she's like, I don't want to do this. I just feel so sick to my stomach doing this. Yes, she got to travel the world, she got to do all these things, but she just got so burnt out. So who should do this? The real opportunity isn't in inbound closing. It's not in inbound sales. It's through launching your own offer. Fun fact, we launched a jiu-jitsu offer, which is doing a 50K jiu-jitsu offer. We make about 6 to 8K per month and we just launched it. I have another podcast about it, but we did that. And instead of keeping like 20%, we can reap more of the benefit. We can use these sales calls to become better business owners. We can use this for market validation. Sorry, the camera died. You don't even have to be that great at sales. And to be honest, I never wanted to do sales because I saw the real value of something like this. And it was to become a better entrepreneur. And the deeper skill is this. It's learning how to build relationships with people. It's learning how to tactfully talk about uncomfortable subjects like money and how to facilitate change in a non-salesy way. That's the only reason why you should honestly do this, in my opinion. If you want to make money, travel the world and all that, that's great. But there will come a time in your career where you're just like, that's cool and all, but I'm burnt out from this. I'm really, really burnt out from finding new clients and jumping from thing to thing. And that's the thing that we need to really dive and tap into, is like building our own businesses. I think about how much value that this has added to not only my like personal relationships, being able to speak my mind very tactfully and develop all those soft skills, but I've also used this for my own high ticket offers such as coaching or consulting and my YouTube channel. That's who should probably learn inbound closing, right? If you are a business owner, you don't know how to structure high ticket offers, you don't know what makes people tick, I think this is one of the best ways to really develop your entrepreneurial skills, because at some point you'll need to communicate your ideas effectively and tactfully, and be able to communicate, hey, I'm a trustworthy person, without explicitly saying I'm a trustworthy person. You'll be able to finesse a conversation, whether it's dating, whether it's business. I would say avoid it at all costs if you're just trying to make money, if you're trying to like make cash quick, because you're gonna burn out. And if you don't believe me, do it anyways. But what do I know? This is not the lifestyle that a lot of people want. It's fucking hard for a reason, and a lot of people will fail, a lot of people will quit. But if you are one of the few that can push through it and have the vision of something more, you are in the right place. So let me know how I can help. I leaked out my script recently on inbound sales, so you can go to that. I'm working on a masterclass teaching and leaking everything. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Peace.